My name's Jeff Makarevich, and welcome to Wine and Dine with Jeff, where I'll make a healthy dinner from start to finish and pair it with wines from around the world. Let's fill up that glass. Hi, I'm Jeff Makarevich, and welcome to Wine and Dine with Jeff. I'm very excited about today's meal. We are doing a Macadamia Nut Crusted Halibut with this Pineapple Beurre Blanc Sauce. It's something that you can find in a 5-star restaurant, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to make at home. And I'm pairing it with champagne. I'm always a happy boy when I can open up a bottle of champagne. This is a rosé Moet Chandon. Boom. Has a beautiful notes of strawberry with raspberry and a smell of rose petals. And why it's so perfect with tonight's dish is because it cuts through the fat of that beurre blanc layer, and it just pairs wonderful with the fish. And it's always a good thing to open up a bottle of champagne on Valentine's Day, right? Well, let's get in the kitchen and start cooking. Let's get started on this easy macadamia nut panko crust. 2 ingredients, that's it. It's very easy to do. I have the macadamia nuts whole, right on into the food processor. All the exact ingredients are down below in the description center. How to steal one for myself. Love macadamia nuts. Let's turn this on. Perfection. Want to leave a little bit of crunchiness to them. Look at that. And then we'll put that right into our panko. Come on. There we go. Release for me, please. Right into the panko. And then we're going to put a little bit of salt. Check to make sure that your macadamia nuts, if they're salted or not. These were not. So I want to add a little bit of salt to the mixture. And that's it. A combination of these. And you'll feel the oils in the macadamia nut, and they hold to the panko like perfect. This is the best crust. So let's set that aside and let's start working on the beurre blanc sauce. Everything here has to come together. It's very, very easy, but in the end, the beurre blanc and the fish all have to pair up to be done at the same time. That's really very important step. So let's put that aside and let's get working on that beurre blanc sauce. Okay, let's get started on this beurre blanc sauce. It sounds so fancy, right? It's just a French word for white butter sauce. That's it. It's very easy. Let's start by just putting some shallots right into a dry pan. And we're going to add some white wine. I have a beautiful Sav Blanc here that I'm adding, which I think pairs perfectly with what's going on with the fish and everything, and the pineapple. So macadamia nut, right? So I'm thinking macadamia nut. What goes perfect with that? That's Hawaiian pineapple. So that's why I'm making this pineapple beurre blanc sauce. So we're adding some pineapple juice. Now this pineapple juice is without sugar added. It's just 100% pineapple juice. And now we're just going to add a little bit of fresh lemon juice. And that's just going to brighten up the flavors of the beurre blanc. Now what we're going to do with this is going to come to a slight simmer. And then we're going to reduce this down to 2 tablespoons. That's it. And remember when I said everything has to pair and come together at the same time? So while this is reducing down, I can cut it off the heat when we get to 2 tablespoons. And I'll show you what that looks like. And then we'll be able to do the fish and get the fish going, and we'll all pair up at the perfect amount of same time here. So once this goes down to 2 tablespoons, we'll add our cold pads of butter, and I'll show you how to finish this beautiful sauce off with. It's so easy. Let's get this macadamia nut crust on our beautiful pieces of halibut here. Now let's first start by dredging them into flour and right into dry flour. Everything's seasoned here with salt too. And then into our egg wash. And I'm not worried about wet hand, dry hand, you know what? It's all gonna be a mess in the end. So, and then after the egg wash, and then into our macadamia nut crust. And it will stick. And what helps is actually the glue is the flour and the egg wash. Acts like a glue. And look at it. Look at this. How it comes out. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Right into the flour, which has been seasoned with salt. And then right into the egg mixture, which is just eggs and also has salt in it. And then into our already done macadamia nut crust. I always like to pack a little extra right on it. Look at this. It is beautiful. Wow. And I have a little extra crust for some extra pieces of fish there. So let's get them in the oil. Let me get my hands washed first. Let's get our halibut in the pan. I have some olive oil heating up in the pan right here, and I have the oven at 400 degrees. Make sure you're not waiting for the oven to heat up. Have the oven ready for you because this is going right into the oven. So we are gonna put the halibut right on in. Nice little baby sizzle there. We want it on a medium to medium high heat. Because of the oils in the macadamia nuts, the nuts can burn on a high heat. So medium high, about 2 minutes on each side till they get a nice crispy golden crust to them. And then we'll transfer it in the oven for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the thickness of your fish. So it always depends on that. You don't want to overcook these because they'll come out steaky and dry. It's time to finish up the Beurre Blanc sauce here. Now we reduced it down to 2 tablespoons, and remember, we're gonna add cold pads of butter. And this is gonna be a little bit on the time-consuming step, but the pan at this point in time cannot be screaming hot. Very important tip. So it has to be on a low. And also the pads of butter, you're adding them in very slowly. And the reason for all this, as you can see, they're starting to melt right now. You don't want to separate the milk fats from the butter. If you separate the milk fats from the butter, then your Beurre Blanc sauce is actually destroyed. So those 2 tips are huge for your Beurre Blanc sauce. Cold pads of butter, and all the exact ingredients are down below. And on a very low temperature, once you finish reducing your actual wine. So I'm just gonna keep doing this until I get all these pads of butter into the sauce. And it's going to be creamy and rich and decadent. And I use butter that is non-salted. So I'm going to be adding salt to this because I like to control my salt content. So I always use butter that is salt-free, so I can add the amount of salt that I want to it to taste. So let's just finish this up. I would first like to thank all my subscribers. And if you're not yet a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you know what I'm making next week. And I can't wait for you guys to try this. This is going to be amazing. I don't even know where to cut into this. This is a huge piece of halibut. Let's get a little bit of this Beurre Blanc sauce on it. Oh my goodness. Oh, it looks so good. Wow. This is hands down one of my favorite things that I've done in a long time. And this is such a big piece, I need somebody to share it with. Please, somebody stop over, quick, soon. Well, thank you for stopping by Wine and Dine, and I can't wait to see you guys next week.